Where the heck? Guess that isn't there. Guess I need to look on YouTube. It's exciting seeing all of these people in all of these leagues.
Okay, let's just make sure that's only okay. Good, that's only showing that screen.
But
Okay.
I hope you guys enjoy the match of the week of.
Okay, so that looks like it's going good. Now I just have to
Oh, oh no, vehicle.
um
Vehicle.
mod view. Okay, let's see here. Edit stream. Here. Okay. Mod view. Okay, let's see here. Edit stream. Here. Okay. Mod view. Okay, let's see here. Edit stream. Here. Okay.
Wonder who's gonna commentate the match of the week.
Disky here. Okay. Welcome to the stream, Disky. Shout and then we got Mac Tonight Production says shout out to the Oakland A's playing the Junior League. Yeah, really exciting to see all the people here. So it should be pretty exciting to see this. So just make sure if I scroll down follows that. I'm pretty sure it does.
Can you guys hear me?
I believe you sound a little bit quiet to me,
Mm,
but other than that, you seem like you. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it's going good. Okay, so
alrighty,
yeah, there is a lot of. There's been a lot of trades, um,
alrighty.
for sure. Okay, so
Yeah,
people are saying that you're really quiet, CRK.
hold on. Let me change my output volume real quick. It's at 200% right now. Is that better?
That's a little bit better.
I'll be sure to turn it back down.
Let's see if I can turn
Little.
you up on my end. Okay, I turned you up a little bit, so that should be able to. That should be good. We got
Alrighty.
Jib.
Is this working now?
Yeah, now it's better. I turned you up, so we're good. Okay, so new season of online, season 5 is here. One thing that's going to be really interesting is that I know absolutely nothing about any of these people. So this will be this could be extremely accurate, or this could be totally uh, shot in the dark and totally incorrect, and everyone can prove me wrong. Um, because I don't know if I've recognized any of these players or coaches. So previously to season 5, anyway. So this will be really interesting to see how that turns out.
I don't recognize any of them either. Well, no, hold on.
You're here for jelly jimbles.
I recognize Jack Ampersand because I played some scrims against him. But other than that, I don't recognize anyone either. Nate.
Yeah, but I think yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get started going for these teams. Otherwise, be here all night. Which
Ready?
whether that's a good thing or bad thing, who knows? But so first off, we got the Oakland Athletics and Vig Kilroy. So they got Henri Deschennes, Davy Marion, Randy Johnson, the Webbers. So they're boosted since they're on the same team. Nikki Winston, Raphael Hendricks, Trent Sizemore, and Stephanie Morgan.
Something that I'll point out is that I'm pretty sure we had some dropouts in the Little League, so these teams are a bit better than what you might see in the other leagues.
That is a good point. I think there was about 18 players
Yeah.
in this one. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see here.
Yeah. So the teams might be a bit inflated to the exact same point as the Junior League was in Season 3.
So that would be 6 times 9.
Yeah. It's
So about
because
two
some people.
rounds. So
Yeah, it's
your
because.
ninth round is kind of like a seventh round value.
Yeah. It's because to the people watching this that don't know, it's because some people. Sorry if I'm talking over you, Nate, but it's because some people didn't just straight up didn't show up. If that makes sense, when they were had timers going on, so they decided to drop some people that they didn't think would play. If that makes sense.
There's white noise on some of the mics. It might be mine. I'm not sure.
I can unmute up and see if it's mine.
Who is this person? Great draft. So yeah, I really like the well, especially for having Randy Johnson and being a rookie. I think is a really good strategy to go off of because um, pitching in online is extremely different than pitching against the computer. So having arguably the best pitcher in the entire league, I mean, other than Hellerman, but Hellerman is Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
It's a really, really smart strategy to go with. Um,
I Let's see. Let's see how the pieces come together here with this team. So I think you put Nikki at catcher, right?
Nikki or Trent?
I put Nikki because he's a slower, and you can put Trent out somewhere else if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got um, pretty well, you have Henri, and then after Henri, you kind of have a middle of the pack speed, but Nikki and Raphael are the slowest, but everyone else is not too slow.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
both Nikki and Raphael can have above 85 power, so they should be able to help you offensively to make up for that speed. Trent is more of a defensive piece, and then Steph in ninth round is solid value. Um,
yeah. She she should be. Do you think you'd play Stephanie at first on this team?
yes, I would try that. The aggression is not great, but I don't think you don't want a Weber at first.
and you definitely don't want Randy.
No, you want Randy to be pitching.
Yeah, yeah, because it's either you do that or you have a two height at first, in which Henry and Davy are probably better off elsewhere. So,
Yeah, it's
but at least,
probably
sorry,
Henri and Davy in the outfield. Um,
yeah, it's their eyes aren't great but if King Kilroy can isn't that bad at manually fielding, then it should be fine though.
I don't think the fields are announced yet, so
Yeah,
um, I think that is also. Let's see, unless they, yeah, the field is not. Well, let's see if I click fields. Is it just? Oh, it just lists the fields. Okay, so that doesn't. Yeah, the
yeah, the
field is
field.
not announced yet. So that's another factor that do not know at this point. So
Yeah. So and even once Randy gets tired, even if they do get through Randy, you have Henry who can pitch too, which is also pretty good. For the this team also has pretty good power bats too, because you've got Henry, Nicky, and Raphael. Davy can also hit power. The Webbers are good hitters too. I like this team.
yeah, I think this is a solid team considering that this is everyone's first draft in this league. So
Yeah,
definitely a good this team just based off of the roster itself. I give it a BB plus
I'd give it like an A minus, but I
without
might be a
knowing
bit.
without knowing field and without knowing how well the coaches are gonna do.
Yeah, that is true though. So you think that Ashley and Sydney should be your shortstop and third, correct?
I think one should be I think it's gonna be field dependent because you have to either put Trent.
I think Trent should be in the outfield though with his cannon.
I guess it
He's
really depends on your field,
yeah.
but then
What can
also you could have well, yeah, Raphael's kind of had to play second, but then again, if you go with the strategy that a lot of people have been going with and trying to load the right side of the infield, you could
yeah, but you
put
can't really
you could put
do
one
that.
Weber at short and one Weber at second and just be
Yeah,
like totally messing with people.
yeah, but now you can actually like control your hits now. Albeit this is the little league, so I'm not sure if people will be able to do that. But now people might actually be able to target third more often though, which is the problem with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how with all the differences in the build, everything, how strategy changes like that. But that's definitely how it was done last season. So I think this team has a lot of flexibility defensively. And you
Yeah,
might even like if you're playing at Cement Gardens, I probably would have a different setup than if I was playing at TCA or Parks.
yeah, man. I think that this is a pretty good team, honestly.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for Kilroy. Moving on to burrito. I do like a good burrito.
I think tacos are better, but teach their own.
Tacos are good,
Yeah, they are.
but this person is not named Taco. They are named Burrito. So we'll be talking about burritos. Now,
What?
type in the chat. Are you a Are you a burrito person or are you a burrito bowl person?
One thing that instantly jumps out about this team is that it's pretty fast. Outside of Chad and Rachel, there's nobody who is slow, and even those guys aren't that slow. So yeah, that's pretty good, I'd say.
It is crazy seeing Emily Lubel be a third round, but then again, you have to remember there's only 18 people.
Yeah,
So yeah, this
yeah,
this
Emily.
team has a lot of power
Yeah, and
and
it's also
a lot
got a
of
lot of
and a lot
speed
of
too.
speed. Yeah.
I like this team, although who do you think should be the starting pitcher though?
Uh,
Because
Chad.
okay, you
I would
probably want
I
a
would say
arm,
Chad.
and also would you rather if you're placing Chad at pitcher, would you rather have Barry or Emily be at catcher? Though, because unless you put Chad there, you kind of want Barry or Emily. You might want those two to play another position, but if you have Chad there, then you might just have to place them at catcher. If that
Lubel
makes sense.
catcher is really good. So
Yeah.
I think Barry is a little bit better at either short or an outfield spot. Um,
Mm,
the one thing though is that they don't because if Lubel or Larkin is playing catcher, then you don't have this team is lacking in height. So, and you don't
yeah,
want
they don't.
Barry or Lubel typically at playing first base.
Yeah, they're kind of a waste at first, even when you have to place them there
So
because
I think unless this person is doing the big brain strategy that I used to do, if putting Rachel at first base, which they might be doing.
yeah, I think Rachel kind of has to play first on this team. It's not great, but it might have to happen.
Yeah, I think Rachel's gonna have to be first base.
Yeah.
No
Who do you
Bulls.
think?
Burrito is barely active. Okay, so apparently this is this is an was an auto draft team. So
No, okay,
no big drink strategy was involved. Okay,
interesting.
did
So,
not know that.
what do you think this? So do you think that Larkin plays shortstop, or do you think? I think I probably would rather have a Wiz at shortstop than Larkin, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, DLW. Yeah, blame the admins. The admins are trash.
So yeah, I think I'd probably would rather have a Wiz at shortstop and place because if you have Barry there, then Barry Larkin. Although it is kind of the field dependent though, and we don't know that. I'd rather have a Larkin's arm and height somewhere in the outfield than a shortstop. Honestly, looking at it, so I'd probably place a Wiz at shortstop. Do you agree with that?
I think I would rather have Barry at short.
Oh, 64 out of 100 is more than enough for shortstop, especially when you consider that Wiz is fast.
I would probably. Well, I guess because I probably would have.
No, we haven't done the junior league yet, Salty Cactus.
I guess you could. I guess the big thing is where do you want to put Julie?
Yeah, that kind of depends a
You
lot.
could have Julie. starting pitcher, Chad at catcher,
Yeah,
and then
that
you have a
could
lot
work.
more. Then you have some more flexibility because you still have. I think Wally is a definite outfielder and Shane is a definite outfielder.
What do you think? Do you think that I think? Do you think that Alexis is good at second?
Yeah, I would put Alexis at second.
Yeah, because her arm isn't the best. And okay, this if I had this team, I'd probably place Julie at starting pitcher.
Salty cactus. Oh, so you're the it's Pog or something or another. Salty cactus. I can picture around Julie. Yeah, Julie is one of the best players in the game. I forget what exactly it's called or whatever. What is the guy's name? No, bog frungus. That's what it was. So you're bog frungus.
Hold on, sorry. Is
I knew.
that better?
Oh yeah, you just got way louder.
Okay, I switched from my phone, my laptop to my phone, because my Discord crashed on my laptop.
Oh,
I
Grace
yes.
Tifton for Clanky.
Yeah, sorry about that, Nate. I'm
No,
back
no,
now.
no. You're fine. Yeah, I think this team has a lot of speed and a lot of The big question is first base, but we're probably gonna have to have Rachel there. Um,
Yeah, I'd do that too. Is my mic fine, by the way?
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you got Chad there. Um, yeah, Chad has a really good arm. So, um,
This is what I'd do if I had this team. I'd place Julie at first, or not first. Starting pitcher. I'd place probably place Emily at catcher. I'd probably place Rachel at first. I'd probably place Alexis at second, Liz at short, Chad at third, Barry in center, Shane and Wally in right and left. That's what I do. Boom. What do you think about that, Nate?
I think it's that's solid. Um, one thing I just noticed is that this team does not have a lot of stamina. So I don't know if that's gonna, especially with the new pitching requirements, that might be an issue, especially if Julie and Chad both get tired. But Alexis is a decent third pitcher, and I guess and Liz and Barry have some pitches, so maybe might be able
No,
to make it work.
I'd probably use like Alexis as the first reliever because you can just do a straight swap. Although Julie is also good at third, though, for a swap with Kaufball. You do have good pitching. You've got Alexis and Chad for pitching, which is good. And the good thing is that this team is also pretty good at offense too, because everyone is either fast like Liz, Shane, or Wally, or has power, and even Barry, and or has power with Emily, Julie, and Rachel and Alexis.
Yeah, your only person that's like not either fast or has power is Chad, but Chad's basically a pitching defense specialist in this league. But
Which I
64
mean,
power can do something, but it's not
yeah,
like it's as great.
I mean, it isn't even that bad, honestly. Chad isn't even that awful at offense. He can have his moments, and he isn't that slow, even if his speed is mediocre.
It's not bad compared to Quentin Driver.
Yeah, I think I like this team. Aside from first base, I think I like it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Moving on to the next team, we got the Giants and J Vote Gaming. Got Jay Green, Larry Walker, Sophie Meyer, Mo Vaughn, Marty Cordova, Molly May, Petra Chekhov, Holly Franklin, and Scotty Roth. A
Well, I
lot
mean,
of
this team.
power on this team.
This,
Two 100 bats, and you got Petra for 93, Frankie and Molly and Mo basically, actually all, actually Larry, Mo, Molly, and Frankie all at pretty much like the 85, 87, 86.
yeah, that's pretty good. It has a team average of 80 and a team median of 86.
That is a lot of power. I think Killer Bat would like playing with this team.
I mean, they've got Marty, so they've already got extra points from me.
So yeah, this team is
One thing,
totally crazy on offense and not too shabby on defense, but they're definitely more offense than defense.
yeah, the one thing that does kind of immediately point out to me is that you have two first basemen and Mo and Sophie. That's something that kind of jumps out at me right off the bat. This team might do good if they traded with the team right before, if they traded Mo or Sophie, because the team before has a first base problem.
Yeah, you could do Mo for Wally.
Yeah, maybe, honestly.
That wouldn't be too bad because you got a lot of speed on this team, and you would be able to. But then again, you would have two second basemen then.
Well, then no, 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 no. Then you just place Wally in the outfield.
No, I'm saying if you traded Mo for Wally, then you would have to move Rachel somewhere else, and you would
No,
have.
then just place Alexis in the outfield. Should be fine.
Yeah, Alexis is not great in the outfield.
Yeah, that is true. And no, no, no. Then just start Alexis. Then start Alexis. Then move her after she's done with pitching. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a great pitching situation with that, but um,
I mean, it could
it
work.
would save it would I don't know if that's necessarily the best looking at how the dominoes would fall from there. But let's see what's round three. Lubel for Sophie. Double Lubel could be interesting. Or double
Ooh,
double Walker if you did Sophie for
yeah,
that would be
yeah.
interesting. I think that would make a freak show like the Giants team a little bit more.
But I definitely feel like this team has trading potential because they could probably trade either Mo or Sophie. Because yeah, they have two first basemen. Well, I
But that's
guess
not the
no. 'Cause
you could have one at one at well, no, you're gonna have.
No, because yeah, you'd have to place Petra there though.
What I think they're probably gonna what they might do is either have Sophie or Mo starting pitcher.
I mean, Mo isn't a great pitcher, but Sophie could maybe. Because even though Mo has 100 stamina, like his best pitch is at 58. Yeah, that's instantly losing juice. But I mean, I guess you could put Sophie at starting pitcher and Mo at first, maybe.
And then you could
That
switch them.
honestly, yeah, that I guess that could work. And I never thought about that, but yeah, that could work. Who do you think plays catcher on this team?
Scotty, easy.
What about Molly though?
Uh,
Because no,
Molly might be third base.
maybe. Yeah, because that actually might be better though. Because if you do the starting pitcher thing with Mo and Sophie, you can have a Scotty for the grounders that they might not get due to their poor speed.
Yeah, I like Scotty at catcher.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. So Molly at third then.
Yeah, Molly at third. Frankie in a corner out, probably in like right field. Um,
I'd probably then place Jay at shortstop then. Because I prefer Marty and Larry's arms for the outfield, and plus Jay can quickly get to grounders that can and cover ground at shortstop.
I was thinking Marty at shortstop. I think that would be really annoying. Marty at shortstop.
No, because I mean Jay. No, no, I'd put Jay at there because you don't need. I think this might come as an unpopular opinion, but I think having an arm like Marty there is a waste, honestly. And Jay would be better there because you can then put Marty in the outfield.
I would rather have Jay in the outfield because Jay's faster.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, they both have bad eyes. So that's not gonna um. You could put like
Yeah.
Larry in left. That would be interesting.
Yeah, Larry should play in the outfield. He's pretty good there.
And 98 I is really nice for outfield.
Yeah. Along with his solid glove and his cannon of an arm, can get quick with relays.
It's funny that they have one of the best players when it comes to eye and one of the worst eyes with Molly having a 1.
Mhm. I never realized how good Mo's eye is, honestly. Also looking at that.
84. Yeah, the team averages 53, but
Yeah.
basically because Larry and Molly cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
offensively
think
this team is doing really well. Defensively, still some question marks as far as how the pieces are gonna put together.
what I'd probably do if I had this team is I'd probably do what you did with Scotty, Molly at third, Sophie starting pitcher for Mo at first, Petra at second, Jay at third, either probably Larry at center because of his eye, and Marty and Frankie in corner outfields. That's what I'd do if I had this team. It could work, honestly.
Yep, and next up we have the Crazy Bombers and Maddie Sams, who's in the chat right now.
Yeah.
So Maddie got Lindsay Felgate, or Lindsay fall down. Uh, Keisha Phillips, Amanda Hellerman, Alicia Blakely, Samuel Middleton, Francesca Whitaker, Joella Minotti, Donald the Duck Vogel, and Brett Olson.
I like this team.
Well, I thought this team was okay, but then I saw Brett Olson, so I don't know how I feel about this team.
No, he's an outfielder though. He's a good outfielder.
But it's Brett Olson.
Come on, don't doubt him.
Doubting very much so.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
this team, you got really good pitcher in Hellerman. You got
Yeah.
Blakely that can play first base. So you got that. Let's see who's.
You got Donald, who's a great catcher as well. That's also pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think
Donald probably is catcher, and then you probably have Keisha at short.
I probably would rather have. I don't know. I'd probably rather have a Francesca at short and play Keisha in the outfield, but that could work.
The one thing is this team doesn't, other than Hellerman,
And Donald.
who's gonna be your pitcher, and Donald, who's gonna be your catcher. The arms are pretty lacking.
Well,
Um,
no, because Keisha's also got a decent arm or a solid arm.
yeah, but Keisha's the only one that has a plus arm outside of your pitcher and your catcher.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I think defensively that could be the one thing that you're either gonna have to have a below average arm at third base or shortstop. And also
I'd
your
probably
outfielders are gonna have not that great of an arm as well.
Okay. I think Joella should play second. Looking at this team, so let's see. You think Samuel should play third?
Uh Slower, the arm's not great, but I mean you might have to just because the team
Yeah.
is slow.
Yeah.
It's
I
slow and does the team is slow outside of your first like two players.
I mean, Brett's got speed though.
Yeah, but that's Brett Olson.
Come on, man. And
I think I like
well,
the first five players on this team, and I just don't know how well the defense is gonna hold up. Offensively, it's pretty decent for the first seven, and then you're trying to fill some defensive holes with the last two. So I kind of get the idea. It'll be interesting to see if people can exploit this defense. So that's the one thing that I would say is there's some questions defensively.
okay. Looking at it, what I'd probably do if I had this team is okay. Obviously,
Ooh,
Amanda
we got
should be.
cheap viewers on live bet. Ooh, I'll
Ooh,
definitely need that.
okay. Yeah, but okay. What I'd probably do if I had this team is I'd probably place Joel at second, Samuel at third.
Dang,
Uh,
they got banned.
yeah,
Ah,
but
no cheap viewers for us. Dang it.
I'd probably place Donald at catcher, Amanda at pitcher, Alicia at first, Joella at second, Samuel at third, Francesca and at shortstop, or Keisha. No, probably I'd pick Francesca, but it kind of depends on the eye though. Because 57 out of 100 arm strength, especially considering how she has good cord and some speed, is enough there most of the time. and I'd rather have Keisha in the outfield. So I'd probably place her at shortstop, Keisha center, and Brett and Lindsay in the corners. It's probably what I'd do if I had this team. Although if their eye isn't great, then they might have to place Francesca in the outfield though, and place a Keisha at short because Keisha has a bad eye. Looking at it,
I don't know what field this team is going to take, but they might want to look into TCA.
that could work
I
actually.
think this team might do pretty well at TCA.
Yeah, because I mean the speed isn't awful, but it's not great. I think I like this team.
I think it's okay, but I think I like some of the other teams a little bit more.
Yeah, same.
Oh man, what are the keys to victory for this team? Jivo says, you have to prevent Brett Olson from being Brett Olson for one, and then also Amanda's gonna have to pitch really well. I think Amanda,
And
and then you're gonna have to hit some doubles with Lindsay, Keisha, Samuel,
and
Joella.
and I mean it's got good bats, but they aren't incredible though.
So
The batting is good
yeah,
at least.
I
That's a
think
good thing.
it's this team is pitching and offense. The the defense around Hellerman is it's not the greatest, but if Hellerman can pitch really well and get a bunch of strikeouts, that might not be a bad thing. So
Yeah, but then again though they have Donald, Brett, and Amanda, so that kind of hinders the offense because those guys aren't great at offense. It's not terrible though.
yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely all players have roles on this team, and they need to be
yeah,
stars in their roles if this team wants to succeed.
I
N-
agree.
Next up, we got the Yankees and Yeeter 556. Ooh, I think
Mean team. All
some.
backyard kids, all pros.
No, this is a team after Manitude's heart right here. No generics.
And it even has Ronnie as well.
Only thing that would make this more of a Manitude team was be if Griffey was on it and Ernie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely. So, thoughts?
You it's you got Pablo, so I think that this is a interesting team because
You kind of have to place Ronnie at catcher. Looking at it, as he's the only arm that's because Chipper is the second best arm, so you kind of have to place Ronnie at catcher. Looking at it, because 80 out of 100 arm isn't the best at catcher. And especially when you consider that you'd probably rather have Chipper playing somewhere else, looking at it. It has all three one heights, by the way.
yep, that is true. So I'm
I
guessing
can
you
tell.
probably put Dimitri at first base.
No, Mike.
No,
Me,
you put Mike at second base.
why?
I think Mike. Well, Mike has a little bit better arm, but I guess it's basically
They
the
have the
same.
same arm.
But I guess
No,
Dimitri is a little bit faster. So
yeah, a little bit.
Frank is
Even now,
definitely your pitcher.
yep.
Um,
Yeah.
Well,
Where do you put
I
Luan
I
though?
think I mean Frank into Luan is a good 1-2 punch for pitching.
Yeah.
And
Then again, you have
Chipper can pitch if needed. Ronnie can pitch if needed. So I think the pitching side of things, this team is going to do pretty well. You have some pretty good height. If you got Jorge, you got Chipper, you got Dimitri, you got Frank that all have height. You got Annie that has some height.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what
It's
I?
kind of hard
Yeah, I
to put pieces together though, because you have three people who should probably play first, in Dimitri, Annie, and Mike. Looking at it,
yeah. Someone has to play second.
maybe Annie. But then again, if they're bad at manually fielding, then Annie might run away from it though, which is the problem with that.
And the other the also the big question is where do you place Pablo on defense? That's always the tricky question of him.
You might have to play at Tin Can Alley or Steel or somewhere because you have to hide both Luan and Pablo. Looking at it,
You put Luan on Jorge's shoulders, and then you put Pablo on top of Frank Thomas.
yeah, I don't. To be fair though, it's pretty clear that this is a meme team though, or a for fun team, and that's not competitive though.
I think it can be competitive. I think it all ultimately depends on like the field and the coach. But just because you
Yeah,
don't have any generics doesn't mean your team cannot is not going to be competitive, especially when you have the increased or the slightly buff teams.
yeah, that is actually kind of true though. But it's definitely like so Ronnie. I feel like Ronnie has to play catcher on this team because you have to place him somewhere, and he's the only high 80s bat. No, not bat. Well, he does have a high 80s bat, but yeah, he's the only high 80s arm. Looking at it, not ideal, but it'll have to work. So,
So you gotta. I think okay. So this is where you put Jorge at third base,
yeah, I think that should be pretty good.
and then you put Annie at first base,
And who's gonna play at
Luan
shortstop?
Luan at
Pablo?
second. Yeah, I think Pablo at short.
I don't like that, but it might have to do.
Or because
Maybe Shipper.
your outfield is going to be interesting because I guess
Maybe
but then
Chipper.
then again
Shortstop.
you have Mike too, so you
It's not great. Almost any position where you place this team on defense, it's
yeah
not great.
you don't have enough outfielders. Like
Yeah.
you could put like I mean I did have Dimitri in the outfield in season 3 and that worked pretty well in right field. So you could put Dimitri at like right field and then you could have
Chipper
yeah, I think Chipper has to play in the outfield.
and also Annie has to as well by just deduction.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to have like Chipper in center, or either Chipper or Pablo in center,
Yeah.
or depending on what field you're in, you're having some form of that. Yeah, this team is the fit is not the greatest. They're gonna have to score some runs.
I mean, fortunately though, they do have the bats to do it. It says your 1 through 6 all have great bats, and Wayne can get on with ease. That's a good thing though. So 1 through 7 actually have good bats. So the offense honestly is actually pretty decent with this team, I'll say. Or it's not great, but it's okay. It's serviceable. I'm This is probably my least favorite team out of the ones so far, but then again,
This team could be the most fun.
yeah, this team feels like more like a meme. You know what I mean?
It's a meme, but it's not a meme.
Yeah.
Like, it's someone that just didn't want to bother with generics.
But yeah, I
so
mean,
so it'll be interesting to see if how Yeater pulls it together.
yeah, yeah,
Next
but I'm
up we got
definitely.
well, speaking of fun, we got extra fun
Yay!
in the Colorado Rockies. Got
Since
Chico
this coach has Kimmy,
Papas. Yeah,
sorry,
this
I'm gonna shut up.
yeah, this team has Kimmy, uh Chico Papas, Kyle Ripken, Francis Bluer, Earl Abbott, Hillary Vargas, Wendy Parsons, Tony Gwynn, Double Gwynn, Raquel Cullen, and Kimmy Ekman. This is
Since
interesting.
since this team has Kimmy, we can assume that it's a Ekman, right?
Uh, I mean, that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, it depends on what the coach does, but that's what I do just to get the Ekman buff for half of the games. So,
Though the
who's
thing
our
with
starting pitcher here?
if you are doing Ekman though, you only have like 1.5 power hitters.
Well, yeah, that is kind of an issue because you have Chico, who is obviously everyone knows how great his bat is, and you have Francis, and I guess everyone else except for Earl can hit it to the outfield, so they might just be relying on just that, but it might be able to work. The only other thing to note is that like the last 5 picks are pretty slow though. It's not abysmal, but it's not great. Mm, I don't know how I feel about this team, honestly.
Yeah, this team does not have a lot of power, and also having so you got
You've
wait
got uh,
two.
you've got solid arms though, good, which is good.
So I'm guessing they're probably gonna have Earl and Wendy be the pitchers.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Francis can also pitch, but you kind of don't want her to. I guess I'd probably start Earl. Then after he gets tired, then I'd switch him with Wendy, and I'd then put Hillary. Okay, I think one of the Tonys has to play at first, right?
Yeah, the problem with Wendy slash Pudge is that if you have them at catcher and then you want to bring them in the pitch, then who's going to play catcher?
No, no, then you have Hillary for that. It could
So
work.
so maybe just Hillary plays catcher from the beginning.
Maybe. But you do at least have that flexibility and that, like, if you do pitch with Wendy, you can at least put Hillary at catcher, though, which is the good thing about this team.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to move Earl somewhere.
No,
Tired tired Earl
second,
is not
second,
great.
second, second. The good thing about this team is that Chico is the only player. You can probably just place Chico in the outfield. The good thing is that this team has second base open, so you can probably just put Earl there looking at it. Then again, where are you going to place both Tony and Raquel, or the other one of them?
Yeah, that's the question that I was, because at first I was thinking like, okay, Wendy and Hillary are playing third slash catcher,
Yeah.
and I think, I mean, you put
Then where are you going to place Kimmy when she's not at Ekman, though? That's also another thing to question.
well, the arm is the same. I think, or the arm is basically good no matter
Yeah, but
what.
she's so slow and her coordination is so bad for the outfield, though. Outside of Ekman, that is.
Yeah, Kimmy's another player that would be like the third base. So maybe,
Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, this team is definitely interesting.
extra
So,
fun. Extra fun traded Gwyn and Earl for Derek and Stan. Okay, that's thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so this team has uh
wait, did he trade Jeter for that? Or was that McCattery?
it has to
Hold
be
on.
McCattery. I'm pretty sure it's McCattery.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I think that makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, I now I'm remembering that trade. So actually that trade makes a lot of sense for this team.
Yeah.
Because then you don't got to worry about the double Gwyn situation. Um,
Okay, wait. No,
who
because
should
no. No, he traded for Tony, though. Wait. Hold on. Is the sheet not updated? It
he's
seems like it's not updated because it says he's trading Earl and Gwen for them. So the sheet must just not be updated,
yeah,
I
this I
guess.
think the sheet is just based off of the draft, not the trades.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that changes everything, though,
Yeah, let's
because
see.
now you don't have double Gwen.
Yeah, extra fun trades Earl Abbott and Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, that makes sense. And at least now you don't have any weak bats after that trade, which is also pretty good as
I mean,
well.
Derek McCattery is your weak bat. Derek has some pitching.
No, no, Derek's bat isn't weak. It's like 60 some power, 60 some contact. That's not weak. So at least you have now after that trade, everyone has above 60 or, well, yeah, above 60 out of 100 power now, which is actually pretty good.
So you're starting Derek instead of starting Earl. So that's pitcher for pitcher. And
Yeah,
then
it's not
Stan
great.
is uh Stan is the best player in this trade. So I think
Yeah.
Extra Fun is definitely winning this trade. I mean, Earl's a little bit better pitcher than Derek is, but Derek is definitely between. And I think Stan can has a couple good pitches too. So um, that definitely helps out this team, and I think that was a necessary trade based on the drafted team, and I think that they're going to be really glad that they made that trade. I guess we'll find out um, later if the other how the other roster looks
Yeah.
once we get to
So
Gerhardt's team.
so yeah, let's see how hold on. What do you think? What would be your defense if you had this team? And well, after the Stain and Derek trade,
After that trade, so you got okay. If Derek is pitching, you have Raquel at first base.
Eco at second, right?
I mean, normally I
Okay,
would put Chico in the outfield because of that speed,
but yeah. Okay, what I do is
but
At Ekman, this is what I do. At Ekman, I do either Hillary or Wendy at catcher. I do either one of them at third as well. I do Cal at or Kimmy at short. I place either Kimmy or Cal in the outfield at Ekman, and I then place Francis and Stan in the in also in the outfield. And then if it's at places other than Ekman, then I'd place either Wendy or Hillary in the outfield. Does that seem good?
I think you're probably your outfield is probably going to be, depending on field, three to three of Chico, Bluer, Stan, and Kimmy.
The good thing though about is that since they have Cal, Wendy can pitch a little bit better though. That's a good thing.
That is true. The +10 stamina boost is really nice.
Cause usually I think Wendy, well, it's 18, so I'm not sure if it's in the lower area for that area. So I don't know, but yeah, definitely it might be enough to boost it into the next tier, but I'm not sure if it already was. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see how this team does. But really like that trade, and we'll see how it turns out when we actually start seeing some games played.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on this team on the Rockies?
No, I think that's it. I got a few more teams you got to get to, so we're gonna move on to the next one. And Jelly Jimbles, not Jelly Jiggles, Jelly Jimbles. Got Leo
I think I
Wayne,
like this team. Looking off the
Sarah
bat,
Maxwell, Maynard, Kay O'Toole, Sean Green, Pamela Kirkos, Dante Robinson, Sheila Basanti, and Randy Uno. This team
I think
seems pretty solid. I think I like this team quite a bit.
I do as well. So, you think Sean should play first,
Yeah, I think I would do that. I would have Sean at first base. This team
and
has
then
enough arms and pitching that you don't need to have Sean, that you can
yeah,
play Sean at first base.
yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have that much pitching, which is an issue, but Leo Wayne should be good for a good chunk of the game, and you can put in Sean. You can put in Sean and then place maybe Pamela at first, and it should be good for your pitching rotation.
You got 4'3" heights, so you should be fine
Yeah.
at you should be fine there.
The only layering thing I notice is that outside of Leah, you don't really have a lot of power, though. Or power bats, like, that can hit a home runs consistently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you have a lot of like that 80 power because you have Sarah, Kay, Sean, Randy, um, but every single player can do something well offensively and
Yeah,
at least can do something, can play a spot defensively. So I think
yeah,
this
I like
this team
the
is
team.
is extremely well rounded. Um, might like it a little bit more if this was RBBL versus because with the lower power bats you can like the 80s you can and get a bunch of singles and That seems a little bit better for RBBL versus online. But
Yeah. I
I
think
think his
they
team
just
is really well rounded.
definitely.
That's the one thing I can think of that might be a a little bit of a holdup is the lack of power, but it's I think it's
The
enough so that
other
they should be
thing,
fine.
the only other potential thing is maybe the pitching rotation because when they get past Sean, there really isn't anything there when they get past Sean and Leah, and they don't have the best stamina though, which is kind of a problem. But the thing is, though, that Leah and Sean should be able to get through the game, but if they don't, then it might cause issues. You get what I mean?
Jelly Jimbles is literally unbeatable, according to Jibbo.
Oh, okay,
Interesting.
okay. Interesting. Definitely agree.
This team, like like Salty Cactus has said that this team has a lot of speed. Team average speed of a 6 and median speed of 7. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, I like this team. It's extremely well rounded. Not a lot of weaknesses on this team.
Yeah. Yeah, outside of the pitching and the bats, or not lacking a true power bat outside of Leah, in which those aren't even that bad of an issue as Leah and Sean are solid pitchers and the other and everyone has 50 or above power though. So those even aren't that bad of issues, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would love to have the issues that this team has. So um,
Yeah.
I think and based off of what um, if people don't just intentionally walk Leah and this guy can hit with other people other than Leah, I think this might this definitely is one of the candidates to be in like the top 4 in the league. I think.
Yeah. So, what do you think are the fielding positions? I think you need to put. I think I'd put. Yeah, I'd put K at catcher. Honestly,
Yeah, I would put K at catcher.
I'd also okay. I think Leah should be the starting pitcher too, as well.
Yeah, Leah at first, K at catcher, Sean at first.
No, 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 not Leah at
I
first.
mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Leah at pitcher,
yeah.
Sean at first. Um, then you kind of
And
just you
then
can kind of you have Sarah Maynard and either Dante or Sheila in the outfield.
no,
That's
I'd probably
good.
play for the extra height and the extra arm. Even if she's a bit slower, I'd put Pamela in the outfield and Dante at shorts. That's what I do personally. Because Pamela is a great outfielder. That Jason Kendall kit is great with the great eye, the solid arm, and since she's a 3 height, she usually catches most things. I prefer it over a Dante there. Or Sheila, honestly.
You have some flexibility in the outfield. As far as like the infield, I guess you could put like thing is you want to Sarah is really great defensively with that 95 arm.
Yeah.
So you kind
Yeah.
of want to be smart about where you're placing her.
Who plays second? Sheila?
Ran Randy maybe, but Randy has a decent arm.
This team is suffering from success with that sentence.
Yeah, I would say it's probably either Sheila or Randy. But then again, if you're worried about chicken parmila, I've never heard of that one before, but that's clever. I give you some points for creativity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I,
I
I'd
think
probably do that.
Jelly Jimbles is going to be jimbling his way to a lot of wins.
Yeah.
And next up we have the Orioles and Geehart, who made the trade. So, okay, this is going to be interesting to see here. Okay, so this team now has Earl and Tony.
Mm, I
Now
think
you
that
have
was a mistake.
you have Billie Jean at first base.
With considering how you already had Tanya and Billie Jean, I think that was a mistake, honestly, for Tony there.
Only thing I can think of is that you're trying to get better at pitching.
Yeah, but you already had Ray, Derek, and Kristen though, who are all good pitchers. Although Kristen kind of has to play no, because then you can play Sammy at catcher. Yeah, I think this team was negatively affected by that trade, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Extra Fun won the trade on paper. Um, but it's definitely close enough so you can see see what each team is wanting, and it kind of
Yeah.
evens out. So I think it was a decent trade, but I think Extra Fun gets a little bit more value out of it based on the
Yeah.
other roster surrounding it. Um, but I've been
Problem though is that
actually pretty impressed with the trades that have been made so far. I was expecting there to be a lot more crazy, like, okay, come on now. Why are you doing it? Why are you trying to trade Leo Wayne for and giving up a ninth rounder kind of trades?
yeah, but I'm not sure about how I like this team, honestly.
Juan
Okay.
Gonsalsa.
Because I mean, you've got a decent pitching kit in Earl and Ray, at least. So that's at least solid. Okay. And at least outside of a Billie Jean and Raquel, you do have some solid speed though. That is I do like that aspect of this team.
Yeah, I think this team would have been better if they didn't make the trade.
Yeah. Cause they already had Tanya and Billie Jean. I think they should have just left it because I think that honestly getting the second Gwen didn't pay off. Honestly, because they already had two first basemen. Or two people who could play first, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would I
Lesko,
wouldn't
you're
touch it.
probably playing like at third base or something.
Or the outfield.
Yeah, you got a lot of versatility there. So,
But then again, okay, so it's either Kristen or Sammy catching.
I'd say maybe let's see, it's probably Sammy Sosa's catcher.
Okay, then. Because the problem with this team, though, is that outside of Sammy and Kristen, you don't really have any great arms, though. That's an issue.
Yeah, Lesko has a decent arm. But other than that, yeah, because Earl's arm is not good.
Yeah, same goes with yeah, same goes with Ray. Yeah, and same goes with Ray as well. Oh, and Jane's arm is also pretty bad. At least they do have some good power bats, though, as they've got Sammy, Tanya, and Jane, so that's pretty good right there, though. Power bats with speed are great. So, What would you do here? Okay, so I think.
I
Hold
think
on.
you'd
Is there?
probably have um here
I'd probably. Sorry.
maybe Jane, Tanya, and Tanya in the outfield.
I don't know about that. Yeah, but I'd probably place Jane at second though, because her eye is mediocre and her arm is bad. So like, if it gets past her, although she does have a good speed to relay it, it might cause issues though. Yeah, it's not great, but I get why you're suggesting that though.
Well, I mean, this team doesn't have the most options
Yeah.
because Earl is probably pitching. You're probably. I would rather have Tony at second versus Jane at second.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's what I would do right there.
So, but then again, where are you gonna place Erwin and Ray though? You
Uh
have to place either Ray or Earl at second though, because they can't play in the outfield. They're just no. And because Earl has extreme speed, his eye is abysmal, and his arm is terrible. It's gonna depend on how well what's her name? Gerhard, what their name? What's their name? How do you pronounce it again? Sorry.
who?
What? How do you pronounce their name again? Sorry about that.
Which player?
The team we're looking at right now.
Oh, Geehart.
It's gonna depend on how well Gehart's eye is for the outfield, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. Um, because you're probably I guess yeah. Ray kind of has to play second if he's not pitching, and the same thing if Earl. You kind of had to put either one of them. So I guess
Yeah.
Tony is gonna have to play corner outfielder
That's not great, but it'll have to do.
because you really don't have any other. What you not much you can do.
They definitely
Yeah,
were on the losing side of that trade. I think they made their team a worse with it. Honestly.
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, protocol. The this is the draft sheet that we had that Vizuri put together. Yeah, it has all the stats from different players, all the different teams. Um, so it's
I
really
mean,
really great to see this. A lot of information. I don't. Your name kind of sounds familiar. Um, I don't. I think you might be playing in the league, but I don't remember which league you are in. So
yeah, there were a lot of rookies in the Super Duper in the Little League. Yeah.
so but yeah, I think that does it for Gehart's team. Let's move on to the Mets, and I'm just gonna call you X. Just
Zenov.
yeah, that's probably how you would say it. But you got the Mets. You got Jeter on the Mets. Just sounds wrong
Why?
because Jeter was on the Yankees.
Oh, okay.
Jeter on the Mets just sounds wrong. But that's beside
Right.
the point. Uh,
So,
you got left parenthesis Juan Gonsalsa, uh, Sally Dobbs, Anna Gaudreau, Pudge, Beltran, Jordan Thorner, Holly Franklin, and Karen Donato. Karen Donato in the ninth round? How did that happen?
yeah, that's some insane value right there.
Yeah, that is crazy that you're able to pull that off.
Yeah. So, Okay. Who do you think? So I think Yvonne has to play catcher, right?
That makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Juan and Derek are better in other places. What about pitcher? You put Holly on the mound.
Because Holly is the Lisa clone. So, yeah, I would say Holly probably is pitcher, unless you want to have Sally. But Sally's probably what you want that height at first base.
Yeah, it's not ideal with Sally because she can play elsewhere,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I would start Holly, and then Sally could be backup.
I'm looking at it. I think okay, this team does have pretty good options though, which is pretty good because the only blaring thing that I can notice though is that the power isn't the best. Sally is your only like true power bat, and having used her in the junior league, I really like her bat. I can hit well with her, but even I, someone who can usually hit well with her, can admit that the one contact, especially if you aren't great at hitting or timing, can sometimes pose issue. That's the thing that I noticed off the bat. Unironically, no pun intended. So
Are they gonna dip?
hmm.
Are they gonna win the chip to dip in the consults? Okay, I gotta pin that. That deserves to be pinned.
That's amazing. So I think I'd probably place Carlos at short. Looking at it,
Little and Salty Cat just said Little League had less reaches than the Super Pooper Scooper.
so yeah, Carlos at catcher, or no, not catcher, shortstop. I think,
Yeah,
or
that's not
Jordan.
a. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm just so used to having saying Derek Jeter is shortstop.
Oh, okay. Huge unpopular opinion alert. I think Derek at shortstop is a waste. You do not need his arm and abilities for shortstop. He's better in the outfield. That might just be a huge unpopular opinion or take there.
I think for online, it's a little bit different than it for RBBL.
Yeah, but at least for online with that take. Yeah, but I know that I'm probably gonna stir some pots with that take there with Jeter, but I
Are
think
you
he's
gonna
honestly.
are you gonna stir the gone salsa?
Might. But yeah, I know that there's going to be some people who are ticked off with that take, but I honestly think that Jeter, at least in online, that having someone like Jeter at shortstop is a waste, or that they're just better in the outfield, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because, like, you don't need that insane of an arm at shortstop. Like, I'd say like 60 to 70 out of 100, maybe even 50 out of 100 is enough for shortstop with considering how it's not that far of a distance. I've seen it work before.
Yeah, this team definitely has. I think yeah, I would Beltron at um at short is good. Then you could who would you say plays third?
Ooh, okay. You have good options there. You've got Juan and you've got Anna. Those are pretty decent options for there. Okay. But I think Karen can play second. You agree?
Yeah, yeah. Karen's your weakest arm, so I would and having 53 as your weakest arm is really really good.
Extremely. Yeah, that's really good.
So I think this team is depending on how good the coach is. It's another one of those well-rounded teams. So I think yeah, there's some good rosters in the little league for especially considering that all these are rookies.
Yeah. Well, the only issue with this team that I am noticing is that they do have a kind of a, as I said earlier, they do kind of have a true power bat issue. Because Sally is the only power bat. Because the second most powerful bat before Sally is Juan Gonzalez with 83. So that is kind of an issue with this team. Because if you're not hitting with Sally, then you might run into issues. Then again, everyone else does have solid bats, so you might be able to have some liner rallies. That's the only potential issue, the lack of like really high power that I can see with this team. You get what I'm saying?
Juan Gonzal salsa and chicken parmella must be a something. I love the memes and the jokes that always come out of the draft and like all the uh that's just the best. All the inside jokes that just keep piling on. I love it. It's the best.
Yeah. So what do you think the outfield looks like in this team?
Um so you're probably having either so yeah, I think
I'd put Jeter at center.
yeah, I
Depends
think
on the field
with
though.
this team I would have you're having Jeter either one of one and whoever doesn't play third, and then probably Jordan is your other outfielder.
Yeah, that could definitely work. You definitely have a ton of flexibility with this team, which is great.
Hmm. So yeah, and you got
Yeah, and you got Sally who can. The thing is that you can place like a Holly because she should have an somewhat of a resemblance of an okay arm, so you might be able to play her at like shortstop. You might be able to like play her at shortstop after she's done pitching, then play Sally on the mound, and then play Carlos at first. Does that sound like a good relief situation there?
yeah you can mix and match with this team, especially the one thing that this team does have low stam.
Yeah, that
So
that
that's
is
the
something to
one
know.
thing that I would be a little bit worried about. But you have four players that can pitch if needed, and you also have other players that have plus pitches. But you have four players that can pitch. So even if you had like Sally pitches an inning and then Anna pitches an inning and then Ivan pitches an inning and so I
Oh,
mean
you also have Ivan for relief pitching too. I didn't even notice that.
so you have a lot of you have four players that are plus pitchers if needed. So
Yeah. Mainly Sally. Yeah, mainly Sally and Holly and Yvonne or Ivan, whichever one you want to pronounce it with.
yeah, so you
I really like this team defensively. It's probably the one of, if not the best ones we've seen yet.
yeah I would agree with that. It I mean definitely has a good roster, but we just have to wait and see how the skill
Offense,
is.
yeah. Offensive, yeah, but just the power is just the one thing that I am a bit questioning about this team. But other than that, it's great. Is all I can say.
Yep. And next up, we have a very interesting name, Mr. World. Uh,
Okay.
Um, and the Texas Rangers, we got Cheryl, Fred Benson, Claudia Villarta, Sonia, Lisa Crockett, Jeremy Burnitz, Isabella Morelli, Ingrid Dahlman, and Fernando Diaz. Another good ninth round pick there.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. So you think that either Jeremy or Ingrid plays first?
I think, well,
Would you'd probably rather have Lisa like on the mound or something.
no, but Lisa does have the height.
Albeit though, you could probably use Fernando at pitcher though. Looking at it, yeah, maybe.
I think yeah, you maybe could start Fernando, and then you could bring in Lisa once Fernando got tired.
And then you can just use either Jeremy or Burnitz as at first, and then place Fernando somewhere else.
Yeah, I think Jeremy is a good first baseman.
Ingrid's also a good one as well.
I think I would rather have Ingrid at shortstop.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um,
I think Fred has to play at second, which is good.
yeah,
He's the
well,
weakest arm.
that's but also with the speed. So I guess you depend. It's either you play Fred is in the outfield or second base.
I'd prefer, considering how this team has good outfielders. You have like Claudia and Sonia, and maybe even Cheryl if you decide to place Isabel on them at catcher. I'd consider Fred as my second baseman for him to scoop up grounders in his weaker arm. Ah, had to sneeze. But the question is though, is do you place Cheryl or Isabel at catcher though? That's the question.
Cheryl.
Hmm. Okay.
But
So
but
Isabel.
I mean you could use Isabel at at catcher, and then if unless and then switch it out like if you had Star on get on base or something.
So yeah, that could work. But yeah, because if you have Isabel, because the good thing about Isabel is that her arm is enough to throw out everyone but the top two speed tiers. It's just that those two speed tiers are the issues with that arm strength, though, or that level of arm strength.
Yeah, so this team is interesting. You do have um really good power bats in Fred and Cheryl. Um, you don't have the top speed, but the lowest speed you have is Jeremy and Isabel at 5.
That's pretty good, honestly.
So to have your slowest tiers be 5, that's really good.
And
So it's
also
not
and also having arms and bats too.
yeah, so yeah, this team is not necessarily the best at anything, but they're not the worst at anything either. They're pretty well rounded. So a lot of teams that are pretty well rounded, surprisingly, for the Lisa at first, Fernando on the mound, Jeremy at third.
Yeah,
That
that
could
seems
work.
pretty good.
That could
Or
work. Okay, because Jeremy has the 80 arm, so
you
I
could
could see
also
that.
use Ingrid or no, not Ingrid, Isabel at third. Yeah, if you could
There
use
is a
Isabel at
trade in the
third.
works where you send McGuire to Mr. World for Fred Benson.
Ooh, okay. Do you think that's an interesting trade? You lose speed big time, but you gain a first baseman and an arm and a better arm.
Yeah, I think the thing is that this team doesn't necessarily need a first baseman,
Yeah, I wouldn't take that.
but if you do that, I guess you have to figure out what you want to do with the outfield if you do that trade.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think the outfield looks like?
I think you if well if you do what was mentioned in the chat where you have Lisa at first, Jeremy at third, Fernando pitching, you would have to have Claudia in the outfield, Sonia in the outfield,
Yeah, that could work. So the hitting on this team is
and
pretty
Isabel in the
solid.
outfield, or Cheryl in the. You might
I'd
have to
rather
put
have
Cheryl in the
okay.
outfield.
I'd rather have Jeremy in the outfield though. For the better eye and the much better glove, even though you're sacrificing a bit of arm, I would rather have Jeremy and Isabel at third, honestly.
That that might work. Right? Yes, having
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because Isabel has an awful coordination stat and an awful eye. So that might cause issues, especially consider how she has mediocre speed. Whereas Jeremy at least has a great coordination stat on top of being a three heights and a better eye.
The better drafts probably come apart from having 18 teams instead of 24. Yes, that is a factor. Um,
Yeah,
so there is less chances for to have bad players, but we have seen in the past where there is um, people just make overdrafting or underdrafting players, and despite how many um, players are in the league, we have seen where it's like, they really messed up this one. So I'm
yeah,
I've despite that I'm impressed based off of since everyone did not have any experience seeing the generics at all, that how these teams are going for the most part.
yeah. I agree. Aside from maybe that, like that one, I think, or maybe two, I think these have all been great teams. Honestly,
Yeah, there's been like a couple that I've been like, okay, these are really good teams. Couple, and then for the most part, there's been a couple that are like, yeah, that's not great. But then there's a good middle chunk of teams that um,
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of fighting for those playoff spots. I think.
yeah.
But then again,
What?
there might this there all these teams at the end might be terrible. Who knows?
I don't know. Then again, you have to realize that player skill also has to come in because, like, you could have somebody with an amazing team that's really bad.
That's true, or vice
I
versa.
I hate to say this, but can I list an example,
Uh,
or do you want me to shut up about that?
I mean, sure, you might get some heat in the comments, but Go for it.
Kid Trunks in the Super Duper League last season. They drafted an amazing team, yet they went 4-10. Like, ugh.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Kid Trunks.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah. I hate to say that to Kid Trunks, because I think they're even playing in the league this season. But yeah, that was just painful, honestly,
Oh,
because that team was amazing.
Joining here. Are we gonna get the 8C?
We might.
No, you're not. Dang.
Dang it!
I was
One of these days.
getting excited.
Yeah, I hate to name drop a Kid Trunks, but yeah,
It's me.
sorry.
So yeah, next up we got the Crazy Fishes and Trip Kenny. We got Pete Wheeler, Xena from Nomar, Garcia Parra, Lance Lambert, Joan May, Chicken Wing Kwan, Lena Ang, Ruth Prout, and Cindy Chang. Now, we were talking about there wasn't a lot of teams about that I didn't like. Um,
Yeah.
if you would have cut this team off after the first five picks and say, "Oh, this team's great," then you got Wing, Lena, Ruth, and Sydney. It's like, go watch Twitch.
No, no, no. It's not bad. I don't. Well, mm, I I think that they probably what they were doing is they saw that because Xena, Lance, and Joan. Well, I mean, Xena and Lance aren't that slow in Joan, but Joan has terrible speed, so I can get why they went for a Ruth and Cindy, and I guess Wing. And Lena's a great catcher. I can get it, but I don't think I would have picked up both Ruth and Cindy though.
Yeah, I think that's what makes me not like it as much as that there's both of them. I think you
Yeah,
could have
I
got
think.
a better value if one of those other two picks.
Yeah, I think Wing, Ruth, and Cindy. I don't think they should have been on the same team. I think one of those guys, especially Wing. Like, let's see who was around the Wing pick that maybe could have been better. Wing, the fifth round, right?
Sixth
Wait,
round.
wait, wait. Okay, six. Okay, okay. Wing. Okay, there was Timmy Unger, Tanya, Pamela. Man, Pamela would have been better. Francesca, Alexis.
Chicken Pamela.
Yeah, Alex Gonzalez. Man, Alex Gonzalez would have been so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I would the drafting matters more the better the league is. That's a good point, Jibbo. Uh,
Yeah. Liz. Yeah, I think Wing could have been someone else looking at it. I think that pick could have been better. You agree?
yeah. Now Wing can pitch, so and with we don't necessarily know how pitching is going to be impacted by all the changes. So I don't necessarily mind the wing pick because of you can pitch better. But Lance is still. I mean, the slow balls they'd get a little bit nerfed, but you're still probably going to want to have Lance at pitcher.
And you also have a Nomar who can also pitch, but then again, you don't really want him to. Who's gonna play first?
Pete Wheeler.
Okay, aside from joking, Cindy, because she has the Lance. Those guys have the best chord. Yeah, I can. It's not the best. because you
I don't
can't place
know
no one there.
when was like Jocinda or um when was Jocinda
Okay,
picked? Let's see here.
okay. Jocinda was picked in the seventh round. Let's see. I mean, man, let's see. Okay, to be fair though, Cindy was literally the last pick of the draft, though. Yeah, I can kind of get that.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so um
Let's see who was still available at the time, though, because there could have been someone better. Okay, Randy was still undrafted. Artie, Arlene, Lorelai, Vic, Tina, Vic, Jason, Betty, Bobby, Terry, and I'm not sure if I would have picked. Would you rather have? Do you think that Tina or Vic? No. Do you think that Jason would have been better on this team for first?
maybe.
Because yeah, I think and Ruth maybe could have been someone else
But it,
too.
the thing is that they could have drafted Billie Jean late in the eighth round.
Then maybe get Marky.
Well, and then instead of having because that was only five picks later because Billie Jean was the first pick in round nine, and Ruth Prout was just picked five picks earlier. So if they would have had, they could have done Billie Jean instead of Ruth Prout, and
I
that.
guess maybe.
So I mean that's something that you they could have done to.
No, but I'm picking Stephanie or Annie above Billie Jean though, and they were picked later.
I mean either ones. I think I would
But
rather
Stephanie
have.
maybe honestly could have been a pretty good pick for this team. Looking at it in the eighth.
Yeah, I would. I think yeah, Steph would have been fine. I think I would have rather had Steph than Ruth Prout.
Yeah, because now you kind of have to put Cindy, who's probably better, or Lance, who in which Lance you probably want pitching. Maybe you kind of have to put either of those guys or Nomar or Pete or someone you might not want to place at first. At first, if that makes sense. So because I think you have to place a Lance somewhere. Problem. Okay, at least they have huge power bats. That's a good thing with this team, though. Because you've got Joan, you've got Lance, you've got Xena. They've all got great bats. Or elite power bats, so at least that's good, though.
Yeah, this team is get people on for the big hitters. That's the
Yeah.
strategy. Is get Wing, Pete, Roof, and Cindy on base, and then Xena, Lance, and Joan hit bombs.
Problem though is that where are you gonna place Xena, Joan, and Lance though?
Xena at shortstop.
Because you have to place, and because you eventually have to place get Lance off the mound. There's no way he's gonna last all 6 innings. So, but then you can't place him at a. But then the problem with that though is that Nomar is really, or I guess Wing, who are great defenders, you probably want elsewhere, are gonna have to come in.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to put um
I don't like this team, to tell the truth.
I mean, I get the thought process for the offense, but the defense I don't like.
Yeah, in which you have Ruth, Cindy, and Wing, who if you're facing up, which to be fair though this is the Little League, but if you're facing a smart pitcher that isn't at dirt, then they're not gonna get on base, which is the problem. That is if you're facing against a smart pitcher though. This is the Little League after all.
Yeah,
These are all rookies.
I think this is a Parks Department team.
Maybe. At least you've got Pete though, who's great in the outfield.
I mean, you could have a. I mean, if you have Pete, Roof, and Sydney in the outfield, that's not terrible.
That's actually, yeah, that is actually pretty solid. Cause, but then again, so I guess no, that can't work though because then where are you gonna place Nomar and so I guess so then you'd place a wing at third, Nomar at short, Xena at well then where who you're gonna place at first?
I think Nomar might have to be first.
That's not good.
Well, it's not ideal, but it's kind of what
Yeah.
you have to do. Um, I mean, unless you're going with the weird strategy of having Pete play first base.
I mean, but then again, then again, you're probably gonna have to. Then again, he's definitely better in the outfield though. But I guess it could work.
Yeah, this team is gonna have to score a bunch of runs. That's the only way this team is gonna win. This team is gonna have to
Yeah,
outscore people.
yeah, and Cindy does not help with that.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
So
Yeah, this is probably one of my least favorite teams so far. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that to Trip Kenny, but yeah, I do not like this team, honestly. Not my cup of tea. But I hope he finds success with it though. Any final thoughts?
I want to see Xena and Joan hit 10 home runs each.
Yeah. Now that's what this team needs.
Yeah. And then
Because if those guys, yeah,
yeah, I guess you have to wonder Trip if Trip Kennedy wants an I Mulligan on this team. Who's the next coach? Here you got Marilyn McDonald, Don Cozart, Faye Dawson, Mandy Coolidge, Angelo Delvecchio, Maya Woodruff, Ezra Travolta, Vicky Kawaguchi, and Melissa Waters. Now, interesting. This is all girls on this team, so
okay.
makes me wonder if Loba drafted this team secretly. Um, Not sure if Lobo had any influence on this team or not, but I would not be surprised if he did because of that. Um, but now it does have a lot more, a lot, but a little bit less speed than a Loba team would have. So, or maybe that was just a cover up to make people think it wasn't him. You have
Yeah.
to keep in
Me.
mind that CRK hates offense. That's what Salty Cactus says.
Okay, sure, Nathan. By the way, that's Nathan. By the way.
Yeah, yeah, I know he's mentioned that.
I can see the pieces coming together with this team. Looking at it.
Yeah, it's always interesting that if online is the teams of Angela,
Yeah, she's
because
a great.
either they can do really well or they do terrible. There's like no in between.
She's definitely like a million times better in online than our BBL though.
Yeah, she's also a million times better if Shwili or Rajas is controlling them or controlling her. So, um,
And a million times worse if Slim is.
I think Slim would rather quit. I think Slim might do some extremely drastic things before having Angela on his team. Um, I think Slim would rather have an entire team of undrafteds than have Angela on a team. So
Yeah. Let's look at okay. I think let's look okay. Melissa plays first, right?
yeah,
I don't get why this team has both Mandy and Angela on it, but I can see it, I guess.
bombs,
Yeah.
bombs and pitching.
Yeah. Cause okay. So would you rather start Angela or would you rather start Mandy?
Ah, I think I think it's if it's a rookie, they're starting Angela.
Okay, makes sense. I might too, but yeah, I think it makes sense. So Mandy plays a second, right?
Yeah, because you're going to be switching between Mandy and Angela, and Angela, if it's not pitching, you'd want to be at second.
Yeah, I think that's good because that's just a straight swap. You don't have to mess around with anything else on the field.
Yeah, and I think everyone else has like a set spot they can be because Ezra is a great catcher for online.
Maryland, yeah, either Vicky, Faye, Dawn, or Marilyn. In which I think okay, I'd probably place a Vicky at catcher, or no, not catcher, obviously not. At shortstop, I'd probably place Maya at third, and have Faye, Dawn, and Marilyn be in the outfield.
Yeah,
That's a really good.
yeah that's
That's
that
an
that's a
insane
really good
outfield.
outfield.
Yeah, that outfield is going to be so hard to get past if they do that. Cause yeah,
Yeah, if that's what they want to do. I mean, Vicky, you if and also they do have the option of switching one of those three for the outfield if they did want Vicky to be in the outfield.
yeah, but I think Vicky is good enough at shortstop though that I'd rather have the killer outfield with Vicky at short though, because with the 100 cord and her speed and her 50 some out of 100 arm, it's enough for shortstop.
I think it would.
Honestly,
I also would depend on the field because if you're
yeah,
at like playground,
then
I would think I'd rather have Vicky at left field and then
and
have better shortstop.
and then have either a Dawn or Marilyn at a shortstop or Faye.
Yeah, so I think that it also the field depends on that, but I think that despite having Angela, this team is pretty solid.
Yeah, I'll say that they got a nice pitching rotation in Angela and Mandy, and I guess if absolutely necessary, then I guess Melissa. They've got a good catcher in Ezra, and a good third base in Maya. Like honestly, Ezra and Maya can honestly be interchangeable between third and catcher.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Maya is really solid for online. I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like this team. They don't have a top bat or a bat above 90, which is something to note of, but they have enough good bats. Because, I mean, they've got Maya, they've got Angela, they've got Faye, and they've got Mandy, who are all great bats that can occasionally hit homers, but are very strong bats. And they've got Marilyn and and they've also got Melissa and Marilyn. I definitely like this team, honestly.
So we got one, two, three, four, five. We got 6 teams left. So
Alrighty. Any final thoughts on this Royals team?
it doesn't have Ivan King. It's not royal enough.
Or Victoria?
Or Liz Kinghorn. But
Yeah, but
okay, so
name aside.
it says next we got the little wombats.
Ready?
So I have something that I gotta do.
Alrighty.
So that's what you get.
First thing I instantly notice is Amir without his big brother.
That is interesting. Um,
But I
Now
can see it
Amir is
working.
a better pitcher without
Yeah.
Ahmed, but the
Yeah.
offense is not as good.
The
So
only other thing I can notice is that they don't really have too many top bats, but they've got a lot of great. In fact, something I noticed is that every bat has above 70 out of 100 power. That's really good.
yeah, their team average is 80 and the
That's right.
median is 82. So that's really high for power. The
Yeah, they've got a
lowest
ton of bats.
is Amir. So
Yeah. In which Amir has a great bat. So, I mean, that's honestly really good.
yeah, so I think yeah this team definitely is gonna be able to hit some balls pretty far. Um,
Not necessarily like consistent homer bats, and that like Debbie and Maria are like the only two bats that might usually hit it out, but it's definitely enough to like where it can be really annoying to pitch against, if that makes sense.
yeah, you don't really have any holes offensively, so everyone can get on base and hit to the
Yeah.
outfield. Um,
And there's nobody within the bottom two speed tiers, which is also nice.
yeah, the lowest speed is a 5. So
Yeah, offensively, this team is looking really good.
yeah, so you probably are gonna have let's see who's you got Amir that that
I
can
think
pitch, Maria that can pitch.
Nancy can pitch. Yvonne, Brenda, and they also can pitch. This team has a lot of pitchers too,
Yeah, that is true. Definitely a lot of
which is
pitchers.
nice.
Um,
That's pretty good. Okay. Although it is a bit lacking in arm strength, I think Jessica has to play catcher. Looking at it, because she is the only arm above 80. Or there's Jillian who has 80, but yeah, she's the only arm that's like that good, which is a bit unfortunate as that is kind of a waste, unfortunately. I feel like this team might do better if they traded like someone to get a catcher and get like cuz like they I think they have enough like good arms, decent arms that I think they can honestly like trade to get a catcher to get Jessica off a catcher. You agree?
um, Jessica is the main arm that they have.
Yeah, because it's either you do that or you're successful from people who have in the top three speed tiers, which is not great, or from stealing, which is not great.
Yeah, I think Jessica kind of has to play catcher.
Because like I was playing against Uncle Pepper in the junior league, and I was able to steal with Leah and Vicky off of Machiko, and Machiko has the same arm as Jillian, and Jillian has the second best arm. So having that many players that can steal second is not good.
I mean, you could have Julian play catcher until someone gets on base and then switch stuff around, but still, it's kind of annoying to
Yeah,
have to do that. So
yeah.
the lack of arms is the biggest thing that I see with this team. They're gonna might have some issues with that.
I think that they should like try and get a catcher. They should like try and they should maybe drop a mirror because like let's see, there surely is a catcher available on the waivers list. Player draft, hit stats visual. Okay, because I mean there's Vincent, there's Mary, there's Murray. Yeah, I think with how solid the pitching is, I think you can drop Amir and get Murray, honestly. Just so you can bump Jessica off a catcher and Murray still has a solid liner bat. You get my logic?
Yeah, I understand that. It's kind of you're kind of placed in a little bit of pickle there, but
Yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah, it's what I do. Cause Jessica at catcher is kind of a waste. As she's a lot better at like the outfield.
I think this team could use a trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, I mean, you maybe could have either um, someone could want either um,
Like, hold on.
Yvonne or
Who is the team
Jillian.
that has Ahmed, though? They may want Amir.
That is true. You could try to make a trade with who has Ahmed.
Yeah, and maybe get a catcher out of that somehow, or maybe
Oh,
just straight up
the
drop Amir.
Melonheads have Ahmed.
Okay.
So I mean you could maybe maybe ooh you could. I don't know if you would just you couldn't do the just the switch probably because of how much you would get improved from having a mirror. But so you might have to add another player to the trade, but just as a principle, if you switched Colleen Clinker with Amir,
Yeah, because outside you have plenty of pitchers on this team outside of Amir. You've got Pink
and then
Maria. You've
also
got
you could
Yvonne Pepperfield,
have
you've got
Clinker at
Lucy.
catcher.
Yeah, that could work.
I mean, you still
Yeah, I
have
think
to worry about like the top couple tiers, but it's still 86 is still decent.
yeah, it's enough to not allow the Vicky, Dante, Pablo, etc. tier, which is big, to steal.
Yeah.
I feel like this team could use a trade as they have a lot of like mid-range power bats. Everyone's above 70 and they've got a bunch of pitching and they've also got great height too. I feel like this team could definitely get some enticing offers for some of that. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but you got a couple more teams that want to get to. It is getting a little bit late, so
Yeah.
um, definitely want to get these teams before it gets a little too late. So
Yeah,
next
man.
up, we got the Milwaukee Brewers and Rainy Days. You got Mondesi, Lofton, Beatty, Mallory, Veronica Lee, Libby Futterman, Alex Gonzalez, Whitney Singh, and Horace Young. This is
That is
a decent team.
I like it. Okay. First off, Horace in the ninth, once again, awesome. Who? Oh, It also kind of suffers from the same fate as the other team, though, when you have to put Raw there at catcher.
Yeah, you kind of have.
It's either you do that or you place Kenny. Like, that's an equal amount of a waste, though, which is a problem.
Yeah, it could use another arm.
Yeah, because you're
Um,
gonna have to place one of those two there, and I'd probably place a Raw because if you have Kenny, because that allows you to basically stop stealing from all of the speed tiers, and it also allows you to place Kenny in the outfield. So yeah, it's kind of a waste, but it has to happen. This team suffers from the exact same fate as the last team did with that, unfortunately.
and that's one of those things where it's it's just something that you learn with experience.
Yeah,
That you kind of want to have you want to have some versatility, and you don't want your necessarily always your best player to be stuck at catcher.
yeah. Because, yeah, players like Raul, for example, are a lot better in the outfield, or have a lot more use there. If you can find someone else who has a rocket arm at catcher.
You got BD who can pitch. You got Libby, good first
Everyone else
base.
is good, though.
Um, yeah, Whitney. Whitney's probably Whitney at second.
No, she's got an arm, and you can also put, and you can put, hold on, you can put Horace there, though.
Yeah, it's either Whitney or Horace. One of them you're gonna put in
I'd
the
rather have
outfield.
Horace. I'd rather have Whitney. She has a bad coordination stat, but I'd rather have a Whitney in the outfield.
Yeah, I could see that. It's just kind of you have to see what works for you. Um,
Okay. This is what I'd probably do.
yeah, you
Oh,
probably
and also, who plays third, though? Okay, this is what I'd do. I'd place Raul behind the dish, Christina on the mound, Kenny in center, although it's kind of field dependent. I'd probably put Gonzalez at short, Zoe at third, or one of those two combos. And yeah, Libby can go on at first, Horace at second, and then just put Veronica and Whitney in the outfield. Does that sound good?
yeah. I think that's kind of what you have to do something pretty close to that in order for this to work.
Yeah, because I mean, you could theoretically put Veronica maybe at shortstop, but 49 out of
Jason
100
Kendall
bench points.
is literally a catcher. That's my team. LOL. Wait, so are you
Oh, so they're using their actual placements. Okay.
oh, your depth. So you're putting Kendall at catcher.
Okay. I guess that makes sense if they want to go for the real thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how a lot of the pros aren't exactly how they were IRL.
Because, like, yeah, Mike Piazza, for example, is an awful catcher in this game.
Yeah, both of the pro catchers are not great catchers.
Well, no, Ivan is good, but he's the only, like, good catcher, though.
Yeah.
The both of them are better off elsewhere. Or the other two.
Yeah, but if you, I guess it depends on it. Do you want to have the realistic feel, or do you try to want to have the best team to win? So
Yeah, it depends. Also, one thing to note about this team here is that aside from Libby and a Christina, this is a very fast team, which is great.
Yeah, that is true. The one other thing that I do like about having Raul at catcher is that Christina's pretty slow and also Libby's pretty slow. So if you got those short dribblers that get Raul will be able to get there and throw people out.
That is actually nice. That actually kind of changes my opinion on having Raul at catcher. Because
Because
that is
you kind
act
of have to have some speed either at pitcher, catcher, or the corner infields.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Otherwise, people are just gonna bunt and get free singles.
Yeah, yeah. That is actually a good point though. That I was just that like you thinking about it, yeah, you're right. So actually Raul at catcher actually kind of works and with this team. Nice. The offense, I think, is good with this team as well because it's got plenty of speed for the base paths, and it's got some power bats. Well, Libby is really the only like quote unquote true power bats, but it's got everyone except for a Whitney can hit though, in which so yeah,
Yeah, and Whitney is your backup pitcher. So
yeah. So yeah, I'll say that I definitely like this team, honestly.
yeah, there's teams that I like more than it, but it's solid.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, or do you want to move on to the next team?
I think we'll move on to the next team. Got the Phillies and Karasu the Karasuda. Marcellus
Interesting
Marks,
name.
Barry Bonds, Mikey Thomas, Tony Delvecchio, Stewart, Parker Collum, Fabian, Kurt Schilling, and Robbie Bacco. Now, this is a very interesting group of players.
Okay, so oh, one thing I instantly noticed is that well, you really don't have any backup pitchers other than Kurt. That's first thing I noticed. And also it's very slow as well.
Marcellus, I would say, is your backup pitcher.
Yeah, but that's pretty bad because his only really good pitch is his heat and he has abysmal stamina. Like you
Good.
might be able to use him for like an inning maybe, but he's gassed after that and his offensive value is gone as well. Or half of it with his speed. That's not good.
Yeah, but Kurt is a good pitcher, and I think you can make it work with Kurt.
Yeah. I'm just worried though that because I don't think that Kurt and Marcellus, considering how they don't have the greatest stamina, especially with Marcellus, I'm just worried that they're just gonna run out of pitching, if that makes sense, because they have pretty much have nothing outside of those two.
I mean, they have a couple people that have a good pitch.
Yeah, but the velocity buff, it's better to have multiple pitches you can spam.
Yeah, that is true. Now, one thing I did not notice or did not realize is that Parker Collum and Robbie Bach have the same pitch stats.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice it either.
0, 12, 42, 73.
Hmm. Well, I mean, this team has Parker on it, so that's automatically less points from me. But other than that, it's okay.
What do you have against Iceman?
Well, I did not like using him in season 11, and he cost me one of my most important games in this season. I do not like him.
Jibbo, are you hearing this? We're gonna clip this
oh,
and
he
send this to
knows
Jibbo.
he knows I don't like him. Or I think he does anyway.
Jeffrey,
think because
you can't stand for this Iceman slander.
yeah, I just I'm sorry for making this about me, but or being narcissistic, but yeah, but I just had him in season 11, and he had his moments, but he was just overall just he was a liability on defense, and his bat was just not good. I just did not have success with him at all, and yeah, I just did not like him, honestly.
I mean, Rachel's better, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Um, this team, I mean, you kind of have like a couple people that are good at like a bunch of things because you have really good speed in Marcellus, Barry, and Stewart. You have really good power in Mikey, Parker, and Fabian.
And you've
Uh,
got Cannon Arms and Barry, Mikey, Tony, and Kurt.
so you have a lot of. It's kind of like you have a few people that can do really well at specific things. It's going to be about how can you mix everyone together. Um, 'Cause
Here's the question: do you place a Tony or Mikey at catcher? You might have to place Tony at first on this team. Looking at it, which not the best.
well, yeah, because you want the height.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you put Mikey at catcher, even though Tony is slightly better.
yeah. I'd probably place a Mikey at catcher and Tony at first, or what you probably just said.
Yeah, that's the. But like the combination of Kurt, Mikey, and Tony all having great arms there, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I'll say.
Um, and could you imagine if you had Barry at third?
By the way, to answer your question, I'm sorry for not reading Discord chats. Nathan, yes, I am using Marty as my starting pitcher. Yeah, but back to what we were saying. What were you saying, Nate? Nate,
Yeah.
you there?
No, I was just reading the Twitch chat. Clanky gave me some trouble at catcher. That was a surprise. Does anyone consider batting order? Uh, yeah, batting order is an important factor. Um, but
I'd say that defense matters a bit more, though.
yeah,
And,
I would
and
agree with
if
that.
if we talked about batting order, then we'd be here for forever.
Yeah, it's already been forever. Um, yeah, but
But that's
I
a
think this
good
team
point.
is definitely. I'll be really interested to see how this team does because it's a very interesting roster, and I'm definitely intrigued to watch this team play.
How do you think? Who do you think is the shortstop on this team, though? Because you have Parker and Fabian and Marcellus on it.
Baco,
I guess, but then, who is at third then?
unless you have Baco at third, and then
Marcellus at second? Or shortstop?
I don't like.
Maybe?
No, not you can't have a 43 arm at shortstop.
It's like, yeah, I agree.
But
It's like, it's
you
not
have to
great.
hide either Parker or Fabian somewhere.
Yeah, but the problem though is that you have both of them that you have to hide. So
Yeah,
like you can maybe put like on they're both awful outfielders because they both have poor speed, not the best coordination stat, and terrible arms. But I think I'd probably pick a Fabian for second and then try and hide Parker somewhere and just hope that it doesn't get hit to him. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Then
that does make sense.
then who do you place at third though? Barry hurt, and also I don't. Never mind. I don't like this team. I like the power hitting on it because you've got Mikey, Marcellus, Parker, and Fabian, but I don't like this team as a whole. And plus, it's pretty slow too outside of Barry, Marcellus, and Stewart as well.
Yeah, it's just an interesting mix of players.
Yeah.
So I think this team has its work cut out for them, but I see a path where they could be good, but it's just gonna have to wait and see, and it's should be interesting to watch them play. But
Yeah.
in
I'm
next
just glad I don't have to use it.
yeah, next up you got the Cardinals. You got Griffey, Canseco, Vladimir, Alex Rodriguez, Clanky, Ernie Steele, Jocinda Smith, Nan Porter, and Tracy Hoban. So you got
Talk about an interesting team.
yeah.
Okay. Jacinda at first? Or Ernie at first?
Um
Since this is at Ernie here, we're just gonna. Is it good to just. Is it okay to just assume that this is Steel Stadium since we have Ernie here?
yeah, I think I would assume that Ernie is but then again you also have your road games, so you might have a slightly different lineup depending
Yeah.
on whether you're but the thing is I think it might not matter because
Yeah.
you're probably going to have
One thing that I don't like off the bat is that this team is pretty slow.
but now you can infinite click with Clanky.
Yeah, that is
With the
true.
so that Clanky's kind of even more broken with the new clicking thing. Um, but you have Clanky and Tracy that can play either can play catcher. You
I'd rather
got
have
just Jocinda and
who's
Ernie that can
the
play
okay,
first.
name of the pitcher? Who's gonna be the relief pitcher though?
Um, it's Clanky's.
Ernie?
Clanky's gonna break the rules and pitch anyway. Um,
Ernie?
yeah,
Man,
yeah. Ernie is a decent pitcher.
well, his
Even unboosted.
his pitching kit is not great, but maybe pitching I feel like is going to be the issue with this team because once you get past Nan, Ernie does not have a great pitch, that great of a pitching kit because his highest pitch is a 66 right hook, and that might get drained a bit fast even with his great stamina. So I feel like pitching might be an issue with this team looking at it.
Yeah, they might run into some issues. But yeah, I think you think you have to have Ernie be the backup pitcher.
Yeah, it's not great, but it has to do.
Yeah,
But I do,
the thing is that yeah, the with this team has a lot of height. So this team
that is
could
pretty
be
good.
and the thing is I think like Ernie based on everyone else, I think Ernie's best position is second base and having a right side of the infield of having Ernie and then Jocinda right next, that's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually pretty good. They might be just hoping that they can just fend off runs enough so that they can have Nan just last out the whole game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be my strategy, and then you maybe could have Ernie or
Because this team is pretty good at defense, especially at steal.
yeah,
Because at steal, it's a more it can be sneakily defensive with how the lower speed tier and the lack of bounces. So I can honestly see it even at 54 stamina. I think 57. Misread it. I think Nan could work at pitcher here or to last through the whole game. You there?
yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
that yeah, your hope is that Nan can get through 5 or at least 4 plus, and then Ernie finishes out at worst.
Yeah, but the problem though is that if you get past those two, then you don't really have anything though.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna
that might be
have
an issue.
Conseco come in, I would guess.
Yeah, and that's not a great kit because even with the elite stamina, he is gonna lose pitches really fast.
Yeah, so that part's not great, but I think that's like the main weakness. Other than no, because I mean,
And
other
it's also pretty slow as well. Another thing to note.
yeah, it is slow after the first couple players. Top speed of
In which
7 and only 1 7. So
Yeah, and yeah, because in which Ken, Jose, and Vladimir, they don't have bad speed. They run fine, but they aren't that fast though. Alex is like the only fast player. Everyone else is either and the people before him have okay speed, but everyone else has poor or worse speed, which is not great. So that could be an issue. Although at least at Steel, Ernie isn't as slow though, so that's good. What do you
yeah,
think? If assuming this is at Steel, what do you think the outfield is? What do you think like the field outside of first base, second pitcher and catcher is? Because I think Tracy is at catcher. What do you think it is?
yeah, I think well, I could see Clanky being catcher. So either your this team has
I think
flexibility as far as the outfield. Any of Griffey, Canseco, Vlad, and Alex could be outfield.
yeah, I think I'd probably place Tracy or Clanky at catcher and third. They can be pretty much interchangeable. I'd then place probably a Ken at shortstop. Then I'd probably have Vladimir and Alex be at the corner outfielder positions, probably Alex at left field and Vladimir in right. And then I'd probably have a Canseco in center to maybe rob some short center field homers. And also because Canseco is probably the weakest defender out of those up three. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. So this is another interesting team. But we got two more teams to get to. We got the Melonheads. I think they did mention that there might be a trade here. Um,
AP Sanchez.
but I forget who mentioned that there wouldn't be a trade.
Okay.
But I think there was like a trade that was gonna.
You there, P. Sanchez? Oh, never mind. Sorry, you were muted. Sorry, that was my bad.
Trying to see where. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Okay. Now, this is the only player that I'll say that I actually have experience with because I've played against Jack and Scrims, multiple of them. So this is a player I know that does have experience outside the league, at least in scrims. This Melonheads coach.
Oh, that was McGuire for Fred Benson. Okay, that's what it was.
Okay.
Pay the admins like free. I mean, you could always I mean if you I don't know if it will work, but you could always subscribe to the Twitch channel and maybe the admins might get paid that way. So indirectly. Um
Or maybe even the Patreon.
yeah, we're not gonna worry about that for right now. But eventually, once we get back to making more content, we'll be doing more stuff with that. But for now, we're just gonna let that
Ready.
not the highest priority right now, just until we get more consistent about making more content.
Ready.
Um,
Ready. But you want to get onto this Melonheads team?
yep, you got you got a couple good arms in Clinker and Bagwell. You got power in Ahmed and Xenon. You got some I guess the one thing that I see right away is that there's it's extremely slow.
Yeah, that is the thing that I noticed too. Cause outside of Courtney, Barbara, and Ahmed, it is slow. Unfortunately, that might pose issues.
You do have a couple good arms. Jim Kiley
Okay.
too, so um
Surprised to see that he didn't draft his brother or Ahmed's brother.
yeah, it is interesting, but maybe they're just an Ahmed fan. They don't like Amir, so
Maybe. So let's see.
Kiley is
Catcher,
probably catcher.
yeah.
Giambi is
Jason was
probably
probably
first.
Who's your pitcher? Colleen?
Yeah, has to be.
I guess you can then, when Colleen gets gas, you can then put Ahmed at first and then Giambi as your pitcher. That could honestly work.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, Giambi is the reliever after Colleen.
Courtney could pitch as the third option.
I guess, but yeah, you'd probably rather have a Giambi on the mound than a Courtney with Courtney's solid speed and arm, if that makes sense.
Don't think Amir got select. Yeah, yeah. Amir got picked.
Yeah, but it was with the person someone who didn't draft Ahmed though.
Yeah, so you were so close to picking him in round 7. Giambi can cook. I don't know.
But
Can he cook gun salsa?
Giambi can cook. What
What?
can he cook?
Um,
You cook like some fresh meals or something?
sub Pamela Parmesan.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess you have
Yeah.
Bagwell
Okay.
at
So,
third base here.
no, but then you have to. Okay, so yeah, that works. Courtney, do you want? Okay, would you rather have Courtney or Barbara at shortstop? Because the thing is with Courtney is that her eye is pretty awful and she has a bad coordination stat. So I'm thinking that maybe Barbara will be better at shortstop, or maybe no, maybe Xenon, Xenon.
Yeah, I think Xenon probably makes most sense at shortstop. The other thing is like you have you have to hide. Well, if Giambi is playing, Giambi is not great if he's not at first base defensively.
Yeah.
Gary has to be
Or
hit somewhere. Ahmed has to be hit somewhere or
I
somewhere.
think that you should have put Gary at second and Ahmed in the outfield. Even though Ahmed isn't great there, you have to place him there. Okay, this is what I do. This is what I do. Okay, so what I do is I'd make it as uh I'd probably have a I'd probably have okay, Giambi at first, Jim at catcher, Colleen starting pitcher, uh Jeff at third, Xenon at shortstop, Gary at second, Courtney and Ahmed as the corner outfielders, and then Barbara at center field. It is the field dependent, but assuming we have a field like Parks or Big City or somewhere like that where all of the outfield is important, that's what I do. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Salty Cactus says some good old slang. Uh, Zeta was your second base last year. Looking back, could have had Horace there. Did I? Oh, why did I do that?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
because
I
yeah, I think
accidentally unclicked that. Okay, let's see.
Barbara's a pretty good outfielder, but you see, Courtney can work in the outfield. It just depends on the user eye, though. Because, yeah, if Jack has a good user eye, albeit they were kind of swinging. I don't trust their eye, though, because I played a scrim against them and they were swinging at some bad pitches. So I'm not sure if I can trust Jack's eye, as Jack is the only player that I know or I have experience with scrimming. So
Yeah,
that might cause issues with Courtney in the outfield, though, looking at it, and also Ahmed. It's not great if you don't have a good user eye, but I think it's what you have to do, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to hope that a Xenon and Ahmed hit homers every time, though.
yeah, that is true. You're gonna have to hope that they hit some bombs.
Yeah, which they do have the bats to do. But yeah, because if those two, well, I mean, it's almost impossible to not hit well with the Z's. But yeah, if those guys aren't batting great, then unfortunately, I don't think this team is going to have a great time, as their defense is pretty poor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that for sure. Um, but I hope Ahmed hits a lot of home runs because Ahmed's just fun.
Same with the Z's as well.
Can could you guys review the RBBL season 12 Giants? No, we cannot review the season 12 Giants. Um, we can only review the team that is coached by Team No Swing Spot. Sorry, Titanium, but that's the only one we can review. Sorry. And last up we got Diski, Susan Gore, Mark McGuire, Kathy Wolf, Star Moonbeam, Grace Tipton, Timmy Unger, Gwen Sears, Uma Morris, and Ricky Johnson. So I kind of see what they
instantly,
were doing here.
instantly recovering from the slow second rounder with Kathy starring Grace. I
Yep.
really like that.
Yeah.
I don't get I don't get why they picked Ricky when they have Mark, but I don't know. I think Ricky could have been someone else because you have Mark. Like you get my logic.
But
Because Ricky is really
what if they just really love? Ricky Johnson. What
Yeah,
if Ricky Johnson is their favorite backyard kid?
yeah, that could work, but yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I'm talking competitively.
You're
But yeah,
swapping
but if they,
Mark for Fred. Mark's not going to be on a team.
okay, that actually makes it a bit better, I'll say.
So that does make sense because Ricky could, yeah, and then yeah, Fred gets, you have the
And also
offensive and you don't need the defense, um or the height really for Mark there with that. So yeah, I like that
that's
trade,
a
and you
great
also get better
trade.
speed, and you hit between Benson,
Yeah, that's a
Caffey,
great
Star,
trade.
Grace, you have really good speed. And Gwen has
Yeah,
good
because
speed, Ricky has decent speed.
Emmy has decent speed too. Everyone after that trade, everyone but Uma has solid speed. It's a pretty fast team, which I definitely like. Which is definitely a great.
Yeah, I could see this being like a dirt yards team or a
Maybe.
cement team.
Yeah, so Ricky plays first, right? Hold on. Who's gonna be your? I guess you. Oh, one main issue though is that you have nobody. I guess Uma maybe. No. Uma.
Yeah, Uma's your reliever, and then it has to be.
You don't really have anyone aside from those two though.
I mean, Gore could get you a couple outs. Caffey could get you a couple outs. Timmy could
Yeah,
get
but
you
you
an
want
out.
those guys to all play like elsewhere though, which is the problem. At least for Gore
You
and
don't
Cat.
know what? You're having Ricky Johnson pitch every single out.
Could
That's
be
the play
funny, but
here.
it could work. Captain Hook on the mound.
Be careful what you say about her, Caffey. Um, Big City Stadium. Oh, that's interesting, because
Okay.
you don't have bounces. Wait, no, wait. Big City Stadium. You do have bounces.
Yeah, you do. You
I
might
was
have been
thinking.
thinking about a super colossal.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking initially. But this team might not be bad for that. You got a couple
Yeah,
good
I think this
power.
could honestly could work at big city. Honestly.
Yeah, I think the pitching is the one weakness that you're kind of maybe getting into, but Uma
But
being
I mean,
reliever is not bad.
yeah, because
And Rick
yeah,
and if you and Ricky can get a couple outs, he's good enough to do that.
I mean, it isn't ideal because you'll have to spam a pitch, which is not great in this new meta, considering how repeat pitches are now getting a punish. But you might be able to.
Well, it's only a +5 now instead of the +20.
Okay, that's a bit better, but it's still cool if you have multiple pitches.
I mean, you could always throw a bad pitch on purpose to reset it.
Yeah, that does make sense, but yeah, that actually makes sense. Complete sense. Thank you, Nate. So yeah, okay. So Ricky plays first. Probably have a Grace starting pitcher, maybe.
Maddie says back after peeping for the waiver wire, you'll be dropping Fred Olson. Let's go.
Ooh,
I like the sound of that.
that could be pretty big.
I'm curious to see if anyone would pick Brett Olson up. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I think
Yeah.
Jay Y will be sad to see that, but he'll survive.
Yeah, but okay. So catcher you have Kathy. which is fantastic. She
Yeah,
can't really play in the IE because in the outfield because of her eye and bad coordination anywhere. So yeah, Kathy Catcher, fantastic. Okay, then yeah, Ricky first. I think you have to place either Timmy or Fred at a second. Who would you rather
Timmy
play?
can be in the outfield. That's fine. I think Fred probably makes more sense.
Okay then. Okay, and then okay, I'd also probably say hold on. It depends on his eye though, because if he has a really great user eye, then he can put Gwen out there. But if he doesn't, then I'd probably place a Gwen at shortstop and Susan in the outfield.
Yeah, them. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, Timmy has a 68 eye.
Yeah,
So
actually, yeah, these pieces perfectly fall together because you can have Uma at third, you can have Susan at shortstop, you can have Fred at second, Ricky at first, Grace starting pitcher with Uma coming in which you can probably do a rotation for that. Then you could have Kathy at catcher, then Timmy as a corner outfielder, or no, Gwen at shortstop, Susan in the outfield, and
Star.
Star also in the
Yeah,
outfield.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. I think that works out really good. And they say speed kills, and that's definitely true with this team,
Yeah, and
especially
and you know,
after the trade, even more so. So, uh,
and I like the hitting on it too.
mhm.
Because Kathy, Star, and Grace are almost automatic singles, and Fred and Susan can hit power. Ricky is the only struggle at the plate, but Timmy can hit well. Gwen can get on base due to her speed, and Uma can serve as a third power bat. I like this team, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is a solid team. Especially not that many people go with the speed build for online. So, um, I think that is interesting to pay attention to. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that's a good way to round off the stream. I think thanks everyone for watching. Thanks CRK for hopping on
Welcome.
here. And
Thank you, Nate.
it was a little bit long, but it was fun, and I enjoyed all the
Yeah,
memes.
man. Hey, man. Thank you for having me as somewhat of a co-host, Nate.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I don't know if we're gonna be doing everything live, but it seems like people it seem to enjoy it, and we'll see how the rest of it comes together. I know Alex said that he might be doing something for the Super Duper Leagues like next week, so look forward to that, and gonna do something for sure for the Humongous League and the Junior League. Don't exactly know what the format or scheduling is gonna be for any of this stuff, but keep that in mind as well. And I know we also have the RBBL match of the week that you're currently editing, right, CRK?
Yep, I'm editing it right now. I actually kind of paused it to do this, but I'm gonna resume editing for another probably almost an hour. Should be done by Sunday or some.
Yeah, so that should be so stay tuned for that. That is the offline league, um, or versus the computer. So if you want more, there's definitely a lot of backyard baseball content to be consumed. So thanks everyone for watching, and